Hey guys, it's Ihasnotomato here, and welcome back to Ihasnotomato Draws. Today, we are drawing Jotaro Kujo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now, before we get into that, I just really want to quickly say that I apologize for there not being many videos lately. I went away. I went away on a little couple-day holiday, and then I returned to a butt ton of uni work, of which I'm actually technically doing right now. I'm interswapping between this and uni work. Also, if you hear some background noise, I do apologize. That is my brother who is staying over. He's on the phone, but I don't really have any other time to record this. But anyway, so yes, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now, I'm sure that a couple of my friends, particularly Frank and Ben, particularly will see this and go, "What the fuck?" Because they have, well, at least Ben particularly I know, has been trying his best to convince me to watch this show for so goddamn long. Because it's like his favourite show, and I have tried on numerous occasions to try and get into it with pretty much no success. And it's just because, like, I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys, part one, I found it the most difficult shit to get through in the world. And if it wasn't for the fact that it was only like 10 episodes long, I might not have gotten through it. But I'm insanely glad that I did, because obviously I found myself loving the show enough to obviously do a speed drawing of it. And if you're wondering why I'm drawing Jotaro, it's because, I don't know, he's just my favourite character. He's an interesting character because he's like such a, I guess, the strong silent type, and he doesn't really talk very much or anything like that, but he just comes off as cool, I guess. And I actually super love his design in Stardust Crusaders, but I ultimately decided to go with the design from Diamond is Unbreakable, just because that, as soon as I started watching Diamond is Unbreakable, when I got up to that part, the immediate like change in art style was so jarring but incredible that I had to do it. Like, there's so many really interesting stylistic choices that they decided to go with. Like, for instance, like the sky is like always yellow. Like, that is so interesting to me, and they got like thick outlines and stuff. Like, oh man, Jesus Christ. But anyway, so I was like, okay, so I tried to do a bit of a mix. So I tried to do a bit more like detail in his face, like he has in Stardust Crusader. Trying to do like a kind of mix and match sort of thing. I don't know how well it worked. But ultimately I realized while I'm drawing this face, you might see me redrawing it and doing it a couple of times, is the fact that JoJo characters are rather infamous for having very unique and pretty detailed faces. And yet I attempted on my first ever attempt at drawing a JoJo character to draw him from a low angle. So that means that I didn't really have a proper reference. But I think it turned out okay. I think. I'm pretty happy with it. I think you can look at that and go, yeah, that's Jotaro. But yeah. I don't know. I've been watching, like, it's pretty much, like, as soon as I finished the first part, like, it immediately was, like, so much easier to watch. I really loved, I think it's called Battle Tendency. I really like that a lot, because I think the main difference between part 1 and part 2, and like, I'm sure I'm going to get some flack for this, but I don't really care, is that like part 1, Jonathan like has like no personality in my opinion. He's just kind of a dude, and he's just kind of like, I don't know, that's it really. Doesn't have a massive personality. But Joseph, on the other hand, he's like, you know, he's all enthusiastic. He's like not incredibly smart. You know, he's overconfident. And that's like really interesting. And then you get Jotaro comes in, once again a giant like change. And he's all like brooding and like quiet, but like smart and like a bully, and like does what he wants and things like that. I don't know. It's like pretty much as soon as I got over that hurdle, it like became way easier to watch, and I just ended up like watching it all the time. And I don't even know how I did it. Like in the span of like, I want to say like 2 weeks or something, I got through all of Stardust Crusaders, and that's not even like putting it on the background. Like, I just watch it, you know. I don't know. Which for me is something that's not incredibly easy to do. I can't just sit down and watch a show. So like, you know, if it was able to do that, you know, there's something to it. Admittedly though, I don't quite know what that is. I've found myself just weirdly attracted to this show. Like really, if someone told me like what's the appeal of JoJo, I couldn't honestly tell you. particularly because all of the parts are so radically fucking different. My fucking goodness. Like, it's seriously, you might as well be watching a completely different anime each part. But, yeah, so I should also mention, I've only recently, I'd say like I'm a quarter through Diamond is Unbreakable, part 4, but you know, I think it's probably my favourite part already so far, because not just the art changes, but also the change in the story writing, where it's, well, I mean, if you watch it, you know, obviously, but like, it's no longer who's the stand user of the week, although I guess it's a little bit like that, but it's like, I don't know, there's like a small town mystery kind of theme going on. There's more focus on the actual characters and their like development and stuff. I really appreciate that. When Stardust Crusaders, while enjoyable, it's just so different, you know. It reminded me a little bit of One Piece, and that's probably not an accurate representation, but it really kind of was just to me like, I mean, like if you look at Stardust Crusaders from like a, you know, just an objective lens, it's literally just every single episode they fight a new stand user, and that's it. In terms of story, there's really nothing, you know. We're going to Egypt to find and kill deer or whatever, and that's it, you know. The characters don't really change or evolve or anything like that much. Like nothing really like happens too dramatically to change the story, like pretty much at all. Like even when Abdul supposedly dies, I mean, they still go along their own way. Like the story doesn't change, the pacing doesn't change, the dialogue barely changes at all as well. So. And this is not to say it's a bad thing, but it's just to show how radically different it is. Like, each arc is seriously just something completely different. But anyway, I should talk about the drawing itself. I mean, I don't know. This is I haven't really talked to anyone about JoJo since I started watching it, because I've just been like watching it in my own time. But so I just had to splurge for a bit there. But yeah, so the drawing itself went pretty well, I'd say. I'm just doing some sharpening here. I didn't even talk about the drawing process because I'm pretty much done at this stage, right? I haven't been looking. Yeah, I debated whether or not I wanted to draw for Star Platinum. I wasn't going to originally because, I don't know, I thought it might take a bit too long, but ultimately I decided fuck it. The whole drawing took about 4 hours, which I guess seems about right. That's how long Miss Kobayashi's took. I mean, that's another 2 characters from an anime, so there you go, I guess. If I involve 2 figures from an anime, it takes around 4 hours. I swear I'm not intentionally trying to make them be certain lengths either. I found it really interesting that like Noodle took 2 hours, Spectre and I took 3, Miss Kobayashi took 4, and this takes 4 as well. Maybe a bit longer than 4, I'm not sure. Actually no, it's a bit less. Anyway, whatever. It's hard to tell because I did it over 2 days. Because, you know, I'm a weird worker. I have other shit to do, unfortunately. But yeah, also that was, if you're wondering why I painted it and then undid it and repainted it, it's because I tried doing the fill bucket tool, because like people, some of my colleagues, I suppose, my peers said, why don't you just use the fill bucket tool? I'm like, well, I think it does this thing where like in Photoshop does it too, like you try and like fill in like an already existing like photo or something, it's got like that white outline, oh god, it bothers me so much and I hate it. I'd really rather just, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's hard to explain, but it's like when you go in Photoshop and you like delete like a certain like area and then you fill it in with a fill bucket, and then like the line in between, there's like a little bit in between the color and the next color, there's like a little white line. Oh god, I hate it so much. And anyway, that appears in this, and that's why I do like that. So I don't know. I just thought maybe I'd be able to save time, but no, ultimately not. Yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, in terms of time, like I don't know, I don't like plan how long they're gonna be. I just kind of sit down and start drawing. I actually thought it took me 5 hours, but I did, yeah, I did a warm-up drawing. It took another hour and I ended up doing like a whole drawing for that, and I didn't record that, unfortunately, but yeah, well, it's one of the new Steven Universe characters. I know I'm rambling and a bit like weird today, I guess. It's been a little while since I've recorded literally anything at all. And also, like, I'm trying to keep my voice down a bit, and it's kind of late at night, and my mind's all scattered, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I ultimately decided, of course, go put Star Platinum in there. I mean, it just works so well into the picture, so I thought, why not? Also, I was very smart and decided to plan out my conceptual, what's the word? Fuck. Not my conceptual, my, what the fuck? My positioning, my oh god, you know, the way that it looks. God damn it. Yeah, I planned out the way it would look before I started. I did it a couple days beforehand, so that way, like, when I started, I didn't have to spend like an hour just trying to figure out the composition. That's the word, composition. Like I've always said, it's my hardest fucking like part to do when it comes to drawing. So I knew that what I was going to do ahead of time, 2 days ahead of time, for that matter. So there you go, kids. That's how bad it is for me, composition. It's seriously the hardest part for me. Like, drawing is just like, I can turn my brain off and I just listen to something in the background. I can just sit there for hours drawing. But when it comes to composition, I gotta like really like strain myself. I don't know, man. I can never decide on something. I'm sure everyone else is like different in their way, but I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, this series, I also want to say, it seems to be doing pretty well, and I'm having a real blast making it. This is like, because like I've said before, drawing really is like my passion and my career choice, if you will, and something I'm really, really interested in. I'm wondering like if other series might be a possibility as well, if you guys would be interested. Some people are saying they like the idea of like drawing along with me and stuff, so I was thinking of maybe also doing like I don't know, like live commentary for some of these drawings. Of course they wouldn't be as long as this, because like I said, most of these drawings take like 4 or 5 hours, and I mean, like, especially if I'm doing it by myself, I could not keep up a conversation for that long. I cannot. I doubt it. Like I've had recording sessions that go for like 4 hours or something with someone else, and that just kills me. So I don't even know, but I figure like maybe I could do like a quick, like, I don't know, fan suggestions or something like that, and just go like, hey, someone says draw this and do it like in an hour. I'm like, okay, and then, you know, that could be the thing. I don't know, that's just an idea for the future. Maybe I'm being a bit like ambitious already, thinking too far ahead, but I don't know, I really like that idea. I mean, like, I like to listen to people when I draw as well. If I just sat there drawing with nothing at all, I think I'd be like bored. Well, not bored, but like I'd walk away probably. I gotta, if I just sat there in total silence, you know, at the very least at any given time when I'm drawing, I'm listening to music, you know what I mean? And like, and I can understand it, you know, wanting to listen to someone like talk in the background or draw as well. Sometimes I get Aaron on the horn on Skype and just talk to him. We'll both be drawing, and like I have his little little screens on each thing, and we can see what we're doing, and just like say, oh yeah, this and that about drawing or whatever. Yeah. Oh god, I'm so like out of it. I'm thinking also of like assignments and stuff at the same time, and how much I probably shouldn't be doing this right now, but fuck it, right? I like to indulge. I like to do what I want. Dear me. But yes, I know, JoJo, real good show. Took me a little bit to get into it, but I'm really having so much like fun with it. Like I've had to stop myself from watching too much of it because because I got to focus on like on my work and stuff, and I'm like itching for the next episode. You know, I really, I'm like, I just want to watch it, and I still cannot tell you for the life of me what the appeal of this show is. It's different from season to season, and I just can't like narrow it down. You know, it's just like, I don't know, it's weirdly appealing. Fuck, you know. But it got to me, man. It got to me, and like I said, a couple of my friends are probably gonna be fucking real mad at me or something. Be like, I can't believe it. You just started watching it. I don't know. I don't even know what honestly, like, if it wasn't for the fact that like the first part was 10 episodes, I wouldn't have gone through it, because what actually happened was I started watching like the first couple episodes with my friend, and then I went away, like, yeah, I'll watch it myself, and I just like got stuck, and I'm like, I can't be fucked watching this. And I was like episode 7, and like part 1's only got like 10 episodes, and I ended up looking at that like a couple weeks later. I'm like, I'm so close to the end of part 1, I might as well finish part 1. What's the first episode, part 2? And I'm like, well, now I want to watch the rest of part 2, and then it just went on like that. Golly. gotta say, it's quite mesmerizing watching myself draw. It's really interesting, like, as it just zips past all, like, the major mistakes and stuff that I've made and things that I'd spend a really long time looking at, and you don't even catch it, you know? Here I'm doing a bit of a fade effect for Star Platinum coming out of the body. This is one of the last things I did, I believe, actually. I'm really happy with the way those clouds look, too. They're really fun. But yeah, anyway, that's the final product right there. So yeah, sorry if this episode was a bit scatterbrained. That's just how I am right now, I suppose. But yeah, anyway, if you enjoyed it, you can tell me what else you might want me to draw in the future. And also, if you want to see the full picture, you can check out my Tumblr and my DeviantArt, and I think I probably also posted it on Twitter. I do that sometimes whenever I post artwork. You know, I post on Twitter for some reason. I don't know. Just fuck. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.